Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to try to do sort of a live video, but not really. Real-time crafting is what I like to call it. My name is Jeri-Ann Henson. It's been a while since you've seen me. If you're watching this on the day it's posted, I'm sorry that it's not the beginning of autumn, but I'm still sharing this with you anyway. So if you will, join us. We're going to be recreating a dupe from the Christmas tree shop, which I know it's very inexpensive to shop at the Christmas tree shop anyway, but this particular thing was like 30 bucks on sale. Not paying 30 bucks for it. We're going to use a wire pumpkin wreath form. This one is already black. It kind of almost looks like it could be green, but it's dark enough that it actually looks really like black. If I can hold the black chain up against it, you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Okay, we're not going to be using the chain. We're going to use 2 of these pumpkins, or 2 of any pumpkins that are this size or slightly larger. Then we're going to use a variety of greenery. I have some that most of them are from the Dollar Tree, but I think these are actually from from Walmart. Yes, they are. That I picked them up at Walmart. They're Lily of the Valley. But we're going to use a variety of little white flowers and greenery. And then, of course, we're going to use Dollar Tree's brand new, is that black? Yeah, black and white check ribbon that they came out, 2-inch wire ribbon from the autumn section. So what I'm going to do now, and then we're going to do a simultaneous project at the same time because 2 of them are painting and painting has to dry. We're going to use one of these orange pumpkins that say thankful. And then we're going to have in the DIY 2 of the brown ones, 1 of the orange one. 1 says A and 2 say L. And then we're just going to fix up that little thing. Okay. So the first thing we're going to do, I mentioned, is we're going to paint these white. The inspiration piece, if you saw in the thumbnail or in the beginning, these pumpkins were actually like white. So we're going to create them to be white. It also does go nicer with the ribbon. I didn't mention that we're going to use white paint, but use white paint. This is Waverly's chalk paint in white. You could use whatever white paint. It does not have to be chalk paint. I'm going to take half of this piece of foam. Actually, I'm going to take a small piece of this foam. I'm going to use the other half to stand up these. Okay, we're just going to take a plain old soft brush. We're going to paint these white. They won't take very much. When we're done, we can either make a stem if you want to have like a stem, or you can go ahead and just paint the stem of this particular branch brown. I live nowhere near an airport that I shouldn't be hearing planes right now. That's because I'm doing a voiceover. Maybe it's a helicopter. God forbid somebody's need an emergency lift to their hair. Help. Yeah. Okay. Let's paint this one white. My white looks so blue. And we'll get the other one going. This, just so I can tell you guys, also was available with a gold pumpkin with blue, like the gold wire. I should have said with blue pumpkins. It was very pretty with flowers as well. That was not my style. This is way more my style. So I went ahead and I made this one. But I have a picture of the other one that I will share at the end if you want that as an inspiration. Because it'll be the same techniques. It'll just be different colors and different ribbon. Okay. So the next thing I want to do is I want to get some wire. We're going to get some wire. It doesn't make a difference what color it is because it's not going to be seen. But we can get some wire and we're going to wire a piece of foam. Now you can use the foam from the Dollar Tree that you have to pay for. I had a package that I received the other day, an item that I bought that was wrapped in this foam, so I just thought I would use it. What you just want a little bit of foam to stick in so that you can hold all of your florals. I think that this is a little too big. Now that I'm looking, it'll stand up way too high. So let's just get a little piece. The foam isn't like quote unquote necessary. I just find it to make it much, sorry, that's rude. Sorry. I just find it makes the project much easier if you have a piece of foam to stick in your florals into. Okay, because of the way that the wire form is. Other kind of phone is a little neater. We're basically just going to wire this right there. I'm going to take a little bit of floral wire, not much, just a few layers. And we're going to wire it here. And then wire it around a couple of times. That's all. If you feel you want it more secure, I do. I feel like I should have made the piece just a tiny bit longer. Okay. Don't put your wire anywhere because we're going to make a bow that's going to use wire. Normally I don't use wire for my bows, but this particular one is a special kind of bow. We really want this to look exactly like the inspiration piece. I'm going to really try to mimic. I think the only thing that I'm not going to do that you might want to do is I'm not going to paint my greenery. If you have pale colored greenery, then you won't even have to consider it. Okay, so let's put this, we could do bows last. So the first thing I want to do is the background. So if you see in the inspiration piece, I hope that this shows up. Oh, there we go. You see in the inspiration piece, it has these sort of two ferns and then a bunch of different little greens around the outside. We're going to do those first. So these ferns, and actually, they're not even ferns. What do you call these? Palm fronds almost. Are from the Dollar Tree. Nope, these are from Walmart. I have two left over. Actually, these two, that's why I'm confused. These two are from the ones from the Dollar Tree. That's what it is. And they look like they're just a tad bit too big, but that's okay. But if it really bothers you that they're that big, you can actually go like, well, I won't do it with this one because this one's actually the smaller of the two. If you've not been here before, that's how I cut my florals, just with a standard scissor. This one is stay. Okay. This one is bigger, so let me cut it down first. And then I'll show you how to cut the leaves down. So actually, let me cut the leaves down first. If you pull the fabric away from the plastic just a tiny bit, right, you'll see the plastic comes away. You can round off these two bottom fronds. Just mimic. Oh my gosh, why am I using this scissor? Just mimic the shape that was already there, and then you can cut off the plastic pieces that you no longer need. And of course, don't throw out your leaves, your leaf pieces. We always use them, so as you guys know. we use all the scraps. So if you've never been here before and you want to see what I'm doing, basically what I do is I take my wire, Floral, and I cut it. I basically am scoring the plastic. No, I'm cutting the plastic and scoring the wire, and then it just snaps right off. So let's see. This one's kind of facing down here a little bit, so that's nice. Okay, so the next ones look like we'll just do a variety of little, like, these are from the Dollar Tree. These ferns are from the Dollar Tree. Words, they escape. We'll do some here. Let's see, we have another one. I do like these ones from the Dollar Tree because they do come in a variety of colors. As you can see, this one is much lighter. I don't need it to be quite as big. Well, I guess that's not so bad. We'll add our little bit of personality to it, right? Then we have some of the leaves that go with the different lilac. I feel like the lilac leaves are kind of like really spot on. They're these pointy little type of leaves. I wonder if I actually have better ones. Sorry, my brain is just like, what do you have, Jerry? What do you have? Because I don't know that I wanted to add the purple. I didn't realize that there was so much. I didn't know all the leaves had purple. If that makes any sense. Hopefully it does. So here is some Dollar Tree lavender. I like these leaves a lot. So what we'll do is we'll cut them down here, get their maximum length we can get on that stem. Oops, sorry. And then we'll pop off the actual lavender. And we just have to bend the wire. We don't have to cut the wire. You can cut the wire if you want to, if it really bothers you. But for me, I'm just going to bend it. And again, this is just more layers of little tiny type of leaves, okay? Now you can use whatever greens you have. You don't have to make it look exactly like this. This doesn't even make sense, to be honest with you, because these aren't like autumn greenery. Sorry, I didn't score that thing enough. This isn't autumn greenery by any stretch of the imagination. So it's not like, you know, we're trying to keep it pure and real or whatever. This one I will just push the leaves up a little bit. That's probably better than trying to tuck the thing in like I did over here. I think that I really like that. So we're going to use the rest of them. Yeah, there's 4. So these seem to be working perfect. I had a wire cutter here that my husband helped himself to. Oh, goodness. So we've talked before about doing florals. I have a few different basic floral arrangement tutorials on my channel. I took a class from 1-800-Flowers back in the day. And we learned a few different things that I really had always been doing wrong, to be honest with you. One of the things that I'd always been doing wrong was to start with my main flower and build my greenery around it. So basically what I learned from her is you do the opposite. You start with your greenery and you build off of it. So that you can highlight, okay, you sit. So you can highlight basically your highlighted pieces. Okay. So let's see. Okay, so for the next thing, we're really going to have to put on that bow. Oh, I did forget to mention that there's a pine cone in there. But I was really thinking about like the Dollar Tree picks. If you could find some Dollar Tree picks that already have like leaves and the pine cone on it already. Some of them even have pumpkins. Okay. So the next thing is the ribbon. So I don't know if you can see that this ribbon on the top is just a regular bow, but this ribbon down here is actually like tails back here and the ribbon loops up there. So that ribbon loops is 4 loops. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that. Cut there. Okay. We're going to loopy, 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 loopy. Okay, so we're basically created our 4 loops. We're going to line them all up. And then we're going to wire the bottoms together. This is just how we're going to do it. As you know, there's 1,000 different bow tutorials on YouTube. And the one thing that's going to be different is we're going to take a piece of the wire that we cut off, and we're going to wire it to the bottom of this bow. So I've just stuck it on there, wired around a few times, kind of like you sometimes see at the florist shop, you know. And now let's make it so it's loopy, loopy, loopy. I'm going to use a little hot glue here because I pulled one of them out, and this is a live tutorial and I don't want to be editing. I let go of that on my way in. So. Okay, so now we're going to make pretty big loops, fluff them out. And because the original was on a flat wreath form, I'm probably going to have to cut this just a bit. Because the original was on a flat wreath form, it was just wired directly to the wreath form. So if you do find a flat wreath form, you'll know to just do that. Oh, Jerry, jeepers. Okay. And it's kind of facing out this way. So that's another thing we'll do. we'll stick it right in here. And we will loopity loopity loop loop loop. There we go. Okay. Now we're gonna get some more greenery in there. So I wanted to be able to put that in there. This is greenery that I saved from wildflowers. Always, 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 I encourage everybody to always, always, always save their greenery, because you really don't ever know when occasion comes like this where you're going to need it. So let's see. Oh, almost forgot the tails. Dirt. I put the tails in first, sorry. So the tails look like to be about that long on each side. For this, I'm just going to take a tiny piece of wire. I'm going to fold it in half and then half again. Give it a little bit of twist before I fold it in half again. I'm going to fold it in half again, and I'm going to create like a C pin. And I'm just going to pin this wire into the bottom of this foam. And then I'm going to cut this is nice ribbon. Like, it's really soft. It's kind of thin, which I like. It means it's got really good flow. I like it a lot. So now we're going to stick in all those little greeneries we were just making. Okay, so did I put one in yet? Yes, right there. So let's see. I've got this one as another double. I like to make it symmetrical, especially if the inspiration piece is symmetrical. Gotta love the static cling, I'll tell you. Now, if you want, you should use green foam, so you don't have to worry about covering it up. I'm not really worried about covering it up. It's going to be fine. I'm going to have enough stuff in it, like, to not worry about it. Sorry. It's just easier for me to do that than to fiddle-faddle with the label. So we're going to end up covering this up enough between the pumpkins and the greenery and everything that I'm not really too worried about it. So let's see. We have more shooting off this way. Let's do another double. There's another double shooting off the other way. Yes, this inspiration piece is pretty symmetrical. It's not quite 100% with its greenery, but I think that's almost like, you know, it gets shipped, it moves in shipping, and nothing actually ever lays properly, like, all the time. So I think that's all that is. I got one more double and one more single. All I'm doing, if you weren't watching, is sliding the doubles up, like sliding the second leaf up. I'm going to put this one down here. And I'm going to put this one on the other side, even though it's just a single. Okay, don't throw your wires away until you know you don't need them. Okay, the next thing I think we're ready for is the pumpkins. So now these pumpkins, I am not going to change the stems out. I'm just going to color the stems in black. You don't have to do this. You can actually skip this step entirely. They look cute either way. I'm just trying to find my black. Ooh, gold. Gold would be pretty. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm just going to take a Sharpie. My trick is just do it gently above. Don't even do it super dark. This way, what it does is it actually gives it the illusion that it's in the pumpkin, and maybe makes the pumpkin look a little bigger too. So let's do that one. This one's not quite dry. Okay. You can do this with your stain paint pen too. That'd be really cool because that would make them really look brown. Okay. So they just need another second or two to dry. I forgot I didn't paint the other project, which is just like I'm a paint in my boutique. I'm in my own way. So let's go ahead and put in the white flowers. Like I said, I'm using this Lily of the Valley. I'm just going to use one on each side. I'm going to leave its greenery. I'm going to slide the greenery up and cut below the greenery. I just wanted to get the leaves. I wanted to get the tag off, so I was trying to like slide it down to get the tag off and then put it back on. Let's do that. All right. This greenery will just help add to the dimensions. Again, if you have the Dollar Tree's old, I mean, they still sell it, but it was just the baby's breath that they used to sell as baby's breath. Like now they sell those beady things. If you still have that baby's breath, that's actually like the perfect flower. I don't have any more, as you can tell by the inspiration piece. Okay. And now we're just going to put this over here. We do look like we're just favoring this side with thickness a little bit. I wonder if I have another fern. I do. I have a whole bunch of ferns. You know what would be cute if we took the little ferns, right? No, let's take the big ones. Let's take another light fern and another dark fern. Why don't we do that? Okay. We'll put another light fern back down here. I'm just sticking it way under everything else. And I'm just using its wire to put it in the position that I want it to be. And the same thing with this lighter fern. I think I like that a little bit better. Okay, so now we're going to get our pumpkins. We're going to poke these little guys front and center. You know, they're not quite dry. What I should be doing is getting my pine cone ready. And then my pine cones, where did you go? Where did I put the pine cones? Where did I put the pine cone? Look at me checking my pockets for pine cones. Oh, I need my head examined. Oh, they're right here. So I got these pine cones from the Dollar Tree. These are the ones that smell nice. I was thinking that this one right here is probably my favorite for this project. So let's take it out. And then what we can do is we can wire it. If you've never wired a pine cone, stick around. I'll show you how here in a second. Let's just get another piece of one of these wires. Okay. What you want to do is you want to take some floral wire. Okay. Just a piece. Fold it in half and make a loop. But a big loop. You want your loop to be able to go around the base of your pumpkin, and you want to try to snag it in some of those layers. Okay? And then twist it once. Oops, I fell out of my layers. Twist it once, 2, 3 times. Then you're going to add your stick we just cut. Oh, here it is. You're going to add your stick that you cut off. And then you're going to wrap it around the stick like the rest of the time. So What I like to do just to ensure is I like to take the top of the actual like stem and bend it back, like away from the pumpkin. That just holds onto the wire a little bit better. Pumpkin? That's not a pumpkin. That's not a pumpkin at all. And then we're going to place him right in here with his little stuff face down. And we're going to fluff out our bows. We lost this bow. And this one. And then the last thing we're going to do, besides cleaning up, before we move on to the next project, is we're going to make its top bow. And the top bow is the easiest. It's just one of our favorite bows that we make. It's only one loop, which I like to say 2 loops because there's 1 loop on each side. You're just going to make a piece of ribbon cut in half. It's not a very big bow on the top. Sorry. But you can adjust that to your own personal taste. So then I fold it in half. Then I take a piece of ribbon that is the tails plus about 2 inches. You can always trim them. So if the tails are 4 inches, you want 8 inches, like 4 inches each. Then you want 8 inches plus 2 inches. You want 10 inches, however that goes. And we still have some ribbon left over after this project. Then you take this ribbon and you fold it in half. Find the center, scrunch the center of your loops, fold it over, and then you just tie a knot in the back. I've seen thousands of bow tutorials that, I mean, my whole life and on YouTube, and since I started YouTube, before I started YouTube, on HGTV, in school, like, I really still have not found one that is as easy and as realistic looking, like, because it really is, other than tying an actual bow and fussing with it for so long. So there you go. And now we're just going to affix it to the top. We added those 2 inches so that we can go ahead and tie it right to the stem of the pumpkin. And now, because it's wired, we can go ahead and fix it. Now this ribbon on the inspiration piece sort of sits lower. I'm sorry, this ribbon on the inspiration piece sort of sits lower. But again, that inspiration piece is on a flat pumpkin, not a 3-dimensional pumpkin like this one is, okay? So I'm pulling the tails forward of the wires. We fold them in half. I'm going to get a better scissor because that scissor is just like giving me trouble today with cutting fabric. And that's not exclusively for today either. I'll tell you the truth. Okay. This one's not going to do any better either, huh? Okay. That's what I get for talking. Okay. And that, my friends, is it. I will show you at the end. We're going to hang it up and how it looks. Okay? But then we're going to give you an original project that's sort of inspired, not sort of, it's inspired by Sarah Jane from Chic on the Cheap. She found these first that I've seen out of everybody haul them. And she was like, I wish I could have gotten the letter F so I could spell out fall. And I was like, well, that's genius. So I went and I looked at my store and I could only find all. So I said, you know what? Let's take this guy. We'll lose its raffia bow because I can't stand them anyway. Take off its sticker, which you can use Goo Gone, heat, yada, yada, yada. I don't have any heat. We've been over this before. We've been over this a lot. Now, there is a tiny bit of residue that I'm trying to remove. So I got all of the glue. But now there's all this oil on there. And sometimes it can affect how the paint sticks. So what I do is I just take a tiny bit of alcohol just to dissolve all of that oil. But look, it does take paint off, so don't use too much, okay? Okay. Now I noticed, just I can share with you, these are like the exact same color orange. Can you tell that? So this is just going to be easy. You can use a sticker if you want to. Paint a sticker white. Dollar Tree now sells stickers that are white that you just have to trim up. You could use that. I'm going to paint an F because I want my F to be fancy. So I have my white paint still mostly open. I'm going to use a chisel paintbrush. The reason we want to use a chisel paintbrush is it's going to work more like a pen. I love this one. It's kind of my favorite. And what you do is you just want to, don't go sideways from the chisel. You just want to go back and forth, load it up with some paint. And it's basically just basic letters. So I'm going to do the same letter. If I can keep a steady hand, I am. Actually, it's better to do this than it is to pour in the cap. The reason it's better is because now I am going to tell you, I'm going to wipe that off because that is so crooked. Holy Hannah. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. Sorry, folks. There's some things even I can't allow myself to do. It's just paint. Don't forget. It's just paint. That's what we love about it. Okay. Let's try this again. At least we know what kind of F we want, right? Let's just try it. It's not quite dry. Okay. Now, if you could notice, these aren't actually like perfect either. They're like all disheveled-y and stuff. So making it perfect is really not important. Okay. And now the last thing, to take a finer brush. No, that's not quite fine enough, is it? To take a finer brush. Let's get some paint. Oh my. And we're going to mimic our arches. So this one goes to here. And this one goes to here. And I am not worried about making them perfect or even, because they're not perfect or even on that, right? And then we're just going to do like a leaf. I'm going to use the paintbrush, and the paintbrush is just going to do it. A leaf, a leaf, a leaf, a leaf, a leaf, a leaf. I'm coming close to the edge, so I'm going to make the leaves stand up a little bit. Or you can make them run off, because this is round and you don't see them when they curve around that curve anyway, right? So I'm just going to go fill that back in. There we go. Just make it a little thinner, a little thinner. And then one at the top. And then the same thing on this side. I'm just going to do 1, 1, 1. Again, don't make it, you don't have to make it even. You don't have to, just make it connect. Make it at least connect. And then one at the top. Okay. So that's it. Hope you really enjoyed these tutorials. If you do, give this video a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, leave them in the comments down below. Thanks for your patience. And if you haven't yet, click subscribe. When you do, a little bell will pop up. When you ring that bell, YouTube will let you know whenever I upload a new video. And as always, you guys take care. God bless. We'll see you next time. Bye.